Hi everyone! It's a beautiful day in California. The view where we are is absolutely amazing. We're just surrounded by nature and I feel the fairy magic. But more excitingly, today I am going to my first Ren Fair! Yeah! Hey guys, it's Sirena. If you don't know me, I'm Singapore's first professional mermaid and the founder of the amazing Singapore Mermaid School. And welcome to my little corner of the world. Today we are going to be talking about what has been, by and large, one of the most magical experiences in my life, the Renaissance Faire. I love all things magical. In fact, it just got worse and worse, and now I'm a professional mermaid. So one of the things on my bucket list has always been to go to a Renaissance Fair. Singapore is beautiful, but one thing we don't have is Renaissance Fairs. And that's because the weather here is really hot and really humid, and just walking around in like a tank top and shorts can get hot enough, let alone walking around as like an elven wench. So my chance happened when I went to Los Angeles. We were going to meet up with a bunch of my mermaid friends and we were trying to figure out what to do that weekend. And then my friend Milynn, who is amazing and beautiful, she was actually the original owner of this beautiful night elf ensemble. She wears it much better than me. I was like, well, you know, there is the Renaissance Pleasure Faire happening this weekend. Why don't we go there instead of Six Flags? And I was like, okay. She said, why don't you come over and we'll dress you up, you know, we'll dress you up like the little fairy elf you are. We went to Joellen's house, and Joellen is an absolute sweetheart, and she kitted me out in a beautiful little fairy ensemble. I'm gonna get elf ears.
Yeah, I don't know if we should. I'll just
go
make sure
straight
that
away.
it's
Yeah,
far
a little
enough
bit.
away. You look so cute and blue with your hair.
I'm so jealous that this is like your real hair and I gotta get a wig.
Oh, that's not a wig. So are all of you
Yes.
like from the same race?
No, I think okay.
Evidently
I've got like a whole story. I think
Okay.
that like
Well, tell me your backstory.
she's like fairy type. Milynn is a aqua elf.
Oh.
I'm like a human sorceress.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think we have a pretty good crew. And then we have our two
We have a
level
pirate
one
and two bodyguards. Level 1!
I hope to level up a little
He just
bit.
equipped the one shirt in his inventory.
Yeah, you equipped the shirt that came, and you killed off your first wolf.
Yeah.
I can't remember if these are latex or silicone. They're skin safe either way, but they come in sort of this like neutral color, but like the paint helps seal it as well, because it's pretty porous.
So make sure it's not gonna affect you all day.
I'm
Oh, cute! You make such a great fairy.
You do.
You need a necklace. Let me think.
Is that butterflies?
Yeah, these were made by Joellen. So pretty.
Yeah, so that's actually two different
costumes
put together for something new.
So I was a garden fairy nymph, essentially. I had the beautiful little green corset and a petal skirt and a long blue wig and elf ears, which kept falling off. It was basically like your average girls getting ready for an evening on the town, except this time we had elf ears and wigs and corsets and just regular girl stuff. Joellen was a glamorous, mystical enchantress, and Milynn was this badass, kick-ass elven ranger.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
Magic!
And so we got all laced up into our corsets, not the boys, just the girls, and we piled into the car and we set off for the pleasure fair.
Just a Saturday.
Yay, we're off. We're going to
I'm back here, you know, just getting ready for the Ren Faire.
One of our mutual friends, I guess.
I say it randomly.
School for fine arts and all this other stuff.
Now, I don't know if you've ever sat in a car wearing a corset, but let me tell you, it's a very uncomfortable experience. And this is coming from someone who's dabbled in waist training, and I'm not demonizing corsets. In fact, it can be very comfortable. But just like something about that angle of sitting in a car, and we were like, are we there yet? And so by nearing the end of it, we were suffering art, right? But it was pretty uncomfortable. And I remember I was so relieved when we pulled in and we started seeing like the rows of flags that would lead us to the entrance of the Renaissance Fair. And I was like, yes, baby, just hang in there, just 5 more minutes. We're here after almost dying in our corsets. We're good. That's not how you respond.
No, I won't do it. It's not gonna happen.
Pulling up to the Ren Fair, we saw all kinds of fantastic cars. I mean, the regular cars, and then there were also people who had gone all out, like turning their car into a pirate ship or like a beautiful caravan, elven caravan, things like that. And I thought that was just amazing. Like, you never see that here. You get like Lambos, sure, and like Porsches and Ferraris, but who needs that when you can have a pirate ship car? One thing, if you do end up going there and you're a newbie like I was, is that they apparently don't allow cameras, but they allow phones. My phone is a camera, so, But anyway, we went in, and the atmosphere just hits you in the face. In a quest, we've been summoned.
We're going on a quest.
Yay!
I gotta go in the gate first, and then he's gonna say hello to you.
Oh, okay.
This is her with the blue hair.
Oh my. Thank you.
Excellent. Well,
if you've never been to a Ren Fair, when you walk in, essentially it's like you're entering a little medieval town, paved with like little stores. And more than that, it's just like the immersion of the people who attend and work at the Ren Fair. Like, we were greeted, I think, by 3 bards playing lutes. So random, but I loved it so much. And people in costumes just welcoming you to the Ren Fair in the most like piratey way possible. And I was just like, yes, this is it. I finally come home. A selfie stick, but I'm so happy. So walking down the streets of Pleasure Faire, one thing I really loved was just that so many of the attendees, not even people working there, but so many of the people just coming to the Ren Fair like me and enjoying it and spending the weekend there, they were all in costume. I mean, there were a few people here and there wearing like I Love LA tourist t-shirts. But besides that, like, everyone's dressed to impress. When we got there, we also met up with another of my mermaid friends, Kairi, and she had this magnificent pirate getup. Hi! Oh my gosh! Why, hello, Kairi bunny! And she's just one of those people, like, I just love her. Like, I just wish that she stayed a little closer so we could be neighbor friends or something.
I used to have hair. Oh my god, I thought you were gonna come towards my face.
Don't drop it.
This was pretty much the first time I was meeting all these people. It was literally that situation where you go and meet your internet friends. Except in this case, my internet friends are extremely cool, out of this world even, and we were going to do something weird and magical together. I love it. I really love the way this community works. The stalls at Pleasure Faire were so fun because I just wanted everything. In fact, Josh was smart and he didn't let me bring and change a lot of money for Pleasure Faire because he knew that I would go ham. And he was right. I would have. Most of them were selling handcrafted things. So you had vendors selling like beautiful welded circlets or like bronze torques and things like that. And it was just so amazing to go there and see all these handcrafted things in person. Living in Singapore, normally I would only be able to experience, you know, those kind of crafts looking at them on Etsy, but here they all were in the flesh, and I could touch them and try them on, and it was fantastic. Also stalls selling costumes. So even if you were a newbie and you went there and you know you didn't have your costume, you were in your I Love LA shirt, you could just go there and buy a bodice and a skirt and a corset and, you know, be set for the day. There were your average Ren Fair food stalls, so stalls selling like hot pies or apple cider, mulled wine, chocolate covered strawberries, you know, just regular peasant fare. Walking around, it was really fun to see what kinds of costumes other people came in. I'm pretty sure I saw a Gandalf at some point. Maybe he was on his way to Bag End, I don't know. I even saw an Arthas from World of Warcraft, and I was like, Arthas, what are you doing here? Wrong world. We walked past a group of people, and they turned and said, God bless the elves. And I just was like, yes, God bless us. Another thing that really adds to the atmosphere of Ren Fair was all the amazing side acts that were going on. And my favorite was watching the Misbehaving Maidens. So the Misbehaving Maidens are an all-girl or all-wench singing group. And apparently they compose like original songs with like a little naughty twist on them. One of the biggest highlights for the general population is, of course, the joust.
See, this is why I'm saving them this way, so it's good.
So I had a really good time. And when the joust was over, we hung out and got into all sorts of hilarity. Oh, and if no one's ever told you, the secret to getting girls is going to Part of that immersitivity is that they have all these little, they're not quite like side acts, but just like side characters that they intersperse, you know, throughout the festival to create atmosphere and interact with people, things like that. Or you would just be walking and behind the trees there would be 3 fairy, elven, dryad, and just, you know, talking in their own little dryad language and gesturing to you. And it was everything that I dreamed as a kid. I feel like a lot of these characters that came to Ren Fair, I suddenly feel a bit emotional. All these characters that I saw at Ren Fair were characters that I had dreamed of and, you know, imagined when I was a little girl. And now seeing them as an adult, like coming all together in this strange new world in real life was so moving. I really, like, my jaw hurt at the end of the day because I couldn't stop smiling the entire day. Of course, like, my life back here in Singapore is so magical. Like, it's pretty much as magical as you can get. But that's mostly mermaid stuff, for now, at least. But just stepping into, like, a wider community and culture with, like, different kinds and more kinds of mythological creatures was actually a deeply emotional experience for me. To see that so many other grown-ups like me were into the same kinds of things that I was, and that some of them are even more into those things than I could ever be, that was quite an experience. That was quite a feeling. And I think, like, random life lesson that no one asked for, but I think, like, that just goes to show that, you know, no matter how different or strange you might feel like you don't belong in a certain place or that you haven't found your tribe, but really those people are out there that tribe is out there, and you just have to go out and find them, because this world's a really big place, and so there's space enough, for every community, every kind of culture, every subculture. So if you're feeling a little alone, like a little different, maybe a little bit of a misfit, an oddball, don't worry. You'll find your people. They're out there. I'm here. I'm here for you, your fellow oddball. And there is definitely a place where you belong.
I like this. How's the more bag? Did you like this?
Your sister.
Yeah, I tell Jack all the time that you can get his up now. I've already lost him twice. Ready? And I'm gonna say, 1, 2, 3. Keep trying.
Towards the end of the day at Pleasure Faire, I started hearing drums coming from a distant green, like belly dance drums, like the dabruka sound. And I was like, what's that, Kairi? What's that? Sounds amazing. And she was like, yeah, at the end of the day, like everyone kind of winds down with a medieval dance party. So we went over there, of course, we had to, how could we not? And the green was filling up with people playing their drums, people playing the flute, and there were just characters of every description and every type just dancing on the green. For those of you who watch Outlander, the titular opening scene is the dance of the Druids, where like all the women get together at the standing stones and they like dance in a circle, and it's exquisite and it's free and it's magical. And I guess in a little way, like this was kind of my version of that. Yeah, I guess that sums it up. Whew, I've been talking for a while, right? Thanks for sticking with me. So if any of you ever want to attend a Renaissance Fair, I highly recommend it. I highly suggest you do it. If you're a magical sort of person like myself, it might just wind up being one of the most awesome experiences you'll ever have. And if you're not that type, but you just want to go there and walk around, treat it as such, and I still think you'll really enjoy yourself. Just the atmosphere and things you can buy, the handcrafted things, and the food you can eat, and the people you meet. You're gonna have a fabulous day. You can't not. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed listening to my rambling. Hope you'll leave a like if you found this video remotely entertaining, or just, to applaud me for the fact that I recorded this entire thing in a corset sitting down. Please wave your fairy wand and hit that subscribe button, because I will be uploading more magical content. Unboxings, reviews, how-to videos, days of my life as a professional mermaid. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I already know I'm gonna love each and every one of you. Please remember that you are magical and that life is truly magical. Bye!